Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill. Today on Suncoast FYI, we talk to Saltwater Cafe Chef Rolf, SNN anchor Krystel Knowles, SNN Multimedia journalist Samantha Sonner, and SNN Operations Manager Alan Marszalek. All next on Suncoast FYI. Our first guest this week is Chef Rolf from the Saltwater Cafe. Welcome, Chef.
Thank you very much for having me. I look forward to coming here.
I've seen you so often on our show. You have your own cooking show.
That's correct.
So we want to find out what's going on at the Saltwater Cafe these days.
Yes, we are really excited. Saltwater is back open after the hurricane, of course, as one mentioned. We have the full menu. We have a new menu at the Saltwater Cafe. It's all about natural. We will talk a little bit.
Okay.
We have the pizzas. How you know we are a seafood restaurant, mostly fresh fish, what is mainly local. We do steak, pasta, pizzas, all that. What I brought you with here today is
what is this?
Frutti di Mare pizza. It's one of those favorite of the customers. We know because we are a seafood place, we don't have just a pepperoni pizza or sausage or cheese.
But you can get those too.
Of course, we have all them too. That's most selling, by the way, yeah. But we do actually a smoked salmon pizza. We're doing ahi tuna pizza. We're doing like the Frutti di Mare.
So pretty much anything you want on your pizzas, you can get it at the Saltwater Cafe.
That's correct, yes. Mainly a lot of variety of seafood, of course, yeah.
Now, are there any special festivals or activities that you're going to be celebrating soon?
Yes, exactly. Of course, we are 20 years in business, 21 years. We're still running specials about that. We're really proud of it, and we're looking for another full season. This Saturday, we do around the world a menu. When some people, we have still opening there where you can actually call us or make reservation. It's a 5-course menu where I featured the New Florida Kitchen. It's all stuff what you see actually on the TV show. It's $55. This Saturday night on this 5-course on this paired with 5 glasses of wine. It's nice when you want to experience something a little different what you usually don't get in restaurants, what you can order in the menu. It's like ribeye steaks is on there. We have a local triple tail what you don't see often on the menu. We're doing a raw salmon tartare on this show. All kinds of, usually what people not will order it, but it's a way to tasting all the specialty
different
food.
Things that you might not normally taste.
Yeah.
Now I know we talked a little bit earlier that everything that you serve is natural. All the meats are natural. Can you explain exactly what natural is?
Yes, that's great. We're doing actually our chicken, pork, that's on the new menu. Chicken, pork, veal, especially beef, all natural. And what I want to say here, natural is, it's actually the same, we organic. It's no hormones, no antibiotics, no artificial stuff. But it's not actually organic corn fat. It's regular corn fat. That's what's the only difference. And that makes it a little bit cheaper because when you have to, for a regular cow to feed 2 years, when you do this natural organic, when you can give them regular corn instead organic corn, cost a half a price. And that's why we decided to go actually with natural. And all the stuff on the dinner menu is now natural and local. We have actually a setup now where we have a person who go around the farms. What we can get is local and all local fish.
So as much local as you can, you buy.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what we get to enjoy.
Exactly, what we can. It's not always possible, I must say. You know, especially right now with the hurricane, we have a little bit in trouble to get certain sources. But as coming back on soon, we will be back on track.
All right. Now you have a cooking show that's going to be starting back up here, right here on SNN. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what we can look forward to?
I'm really excited about that. The New Florida Kitchen coming back will be Monday to Friday on 11 o'clock. It's a half-hour show. And it's all with local people who are living in the area, local sponsors. We get a non-profit organization on the show. And we do a little the news. Theaters will be on, what's going on around in town, festivals. We will invite in people who will tell us about the festival. All about a little bit our neighborhood between Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, Venice, Inglewood, and Bradenton.
Because you have people coming from all of those different areas. Now, one final question before we close. Do you have a favorite dish that you like to cook?
I get this asked so many times. I like actually everything. You know, that's what it is.
Well, everything that you have on your menu.
Exactly. That's why we
right?
have 300 menus on the item, because I like everything.
Oh my gosh.
I like pizza. I like steak. You know, I like a good surf and turf. That's great. And not just fillet and lobster tail kind of things.
Yeah.
I like maybe like a prime rib and a piece of salmon.
Yeah,
you know,
mix it up.
Yeah, exactly. Or you know what it is, a little calamari and salmon and the fillet and calamari. That's I like the good old mix. You know, that's why you find everything on Saltwater's menu.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. I look forward to your show coming back. Now, where can our viewers go to find you now?
Yeah, the best way is to go saltwatercafe.com. You find all the menus, the weekly special, you find discounts, and when you want to sign up for the Saltwater Club, you get all kinds of special mail too. You will get all those information we just talked about mailed to you, and much, much more. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. It was really a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for having me. Coming up next on Suncoast FYI, we talk about the Suncoast News Network's coverage of Hurricane Irma with anchor and reporter Krystel Knowles. Please stay tuned. Our next guest is SNN anchor and reporter Krystel Knowles.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
Very nice to see you. Finally, we're indoors, so that's always good.
Yes, yes, yes. I know you're always out there. How did you and the newsroom plan with the rest of the staff for the storm? I mean, what was it? I mean, you got together and talk about evacuations. I mean, what was it like, Krystel?
It was, because we had to do our normal day job, our 9 to 5, but then also we're tracking Irma and trying to like make the whole plans of like, when do we pack our stuff? Because many of us came to the realization that we might not see our belongings ever again. So after our full shift, we would go home, pack, and then we couldn't make a schedule until we know the direct path. Right. We thought it was going to go to the East Coast, but then it went to the West Coast. So at the last minute, everybody's schedules had to change, but we were working 12 to 14 hours on, and then a few hours off, and then on. But since we're staying at the station and sleeping here, you're really not sleeping. You're always like going with the meteorologist outside to kind of check the weather and see what's going on. So the preparations, and it was a lot of work, because many of us packed all our belongings as much as we could. We brought it here, and we just basically said goodbye to our stuff. And a couple of staff members and I, we were talking like, we cover these stories every day where people lose it all. We're going to end up losing. It could be us. Yeah, absolutely. So what was it like knowing? I mean, you might lose everything. I mean, what's that feel like firsthand? You know, it kind of makes you take a step back, but then I also was realizing that if I did lose everything, when I cover stories of people losing everything as well, I know exactly what they went through. So I was using it as a lesson learned to further myself as a journalist, so I can say I've been in your position. Yes. But it was very nerve-wracking. I did have insurance, but I did not have flood insurance. And when I saw that the storm surge was going to be 5 to 8, I knew that everything was going to be flooded. But then, thankfully enough, it ended up being a Cat 1 when it came to us. Thank God. We didn't lose anything, only power. Yeah. So I'm curious, what did you pack? What did you bring here? Okay, what did I pack? All my documents, all my 2 passports, everything. So I packed that. I packed all my camera gear, because I have a lot of camera gear, and I can't replace that, and computers. I packed dresses because I had to go to work. So if I didn't have power or any place to live for a few weeks, I packed clothes so I could wear it to go to work. And a lot of food, and jewelry, because you have to pack jewelry. Absolutely, can't leave that. It's too expensive to replace. Even if I had insurance, it was going to cost a lot to replace that. So I didn't bring like small items. I don't have a lot of picture frames and any of that, so I didn't have to worry about it. But the most important was the jewelry, documents, and clothes so I could go to work. And your cameras. Yes. And your cameras. So we asked Alan about his memorable moments. Are there some that you can share? I know there's some you can't, but I think there's maybe some you can. I would have to say there were a lot of laughing during, we had to wear rain boots. Many of us were tripping because the roads were slippery. One of my coworkers almost stepped on a power line, and the fire department said, no, that's a hot wire. That was a realization that yes, we're covering the storm. We're worried about our safety, but we have to give viewers everything, the video, the audio, so that way they know what's going on in their neighborhood. So it was a lot of memorable moments when it comes to that, but the fun, for the fun times is everybody's camping out. So you're passing an office, you're seeing someone sleeping, so you take selfies with that. And so it's fun. A lot of them don't know that I have pictures of them sleeping, so they're gonna find out soon enough.
Oh, that's cute.
So it's a fun, it was good to have everybody in the same boat, everybody having the same concerns, everybody wanting to go out in the field to give our viewers the images and video that they needed so they don't go out themselves. So I have to say it was one of the most memorable experiences because we were scared, but also because of how we worked together, and that was really cool. I've never had that experience before.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you again for all of the wonderful work that you did and do, and nice to see you.
Thank you.
Coming up next on Suncoast FYI, we continue our discussion of Hurricane Irma coverage with SNN Multimedia journalist Samantha Sonner. Please stay tuned. SNN Multimedia journalist Samantha Sonner is here with us to continue our discussion on the Hurricane Irma coverage. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here safe and sound, as we all are.
I'm glad that Sarasota kind of missed the brunt of this storm.
Yes.
Now we're in just the recovery phase here.
A lot of that going on still. A lot of that going on. Now, I know you haven't been with SNN that long. When did you join the team?
Yeah, I got here just after Christmas last December, so I've been here just under a year now.
Okay, and you relocated from?
I relocated from Las Cruces, New Mexico, right on the border. I worked out there for 2 years after college, but I'm originally from Long Island, New York.
Okay, that's where you grew up. So,
Yes.
So I know that you've experienced hurricanes, but probably not quite so up close and personal as this one?
Yeah, you know, on Long Island, it is an island, so we do get some hurricanes, some hurricane force winds. Usually by the time they get to us, they are tropical storms, but we go through that hurricane prep up there in New York, so I've never experienced one this big before and this drastic.
So the hurricane preparedness, I mean, this was really intense. I mean, we had a long time to prepare.
Yeah, and you know, I think that was really helpful for the community too. You know, we knew this was coming for about a week. You know, I had started doing hurricane preparedness stories and telling people to get prepared the Monday before the storm came through. So this was something where you saw people have a lot of time to prepare. And it's funny because, you know, as you're doing these stories and you're telling people to prepare and that they might have to evacuate.
Yes.
I'm up in Manatee County in a evacuation zone, which was mandatory evacuation.
Yes.
So while you're telling other people to do these things, you know, you're getting prepared yourself.
Yeah, boy, that's got to be tough. I mean, between working, because no, you couldn't take the time off like so many of us were fortunate enough to be able to do that. So I know I asked a couple other folks what they brought with them. What did you pack?
I packed enough clothes for about a week because I did not know if I would be able to get back in my apartment or when I would be able to get back in my apartment. Some major electronic devices, important documents and things of that nature. I know for Manatee County they said that you needed 2 documents to be able to get back into your home, to get back into these evacuation zones. So I packed that kind of stuff, and you know, you look around at your apartment at what's important to you and what you are going to need. Yeah,
it makes you reassess really what's important. What do you really need? What can't you live without?
Yeah, I was lucky that I was here and I knew I was okay. So there was a little bit less. And your parents were happy about that? Yes, they were. They knew that this building was Category 4 certified, so that was a lot nicer than staying in my own apartment. Now, I know that some of the other staff, they brought their families, their children. Yeah, my boyfriend actually had to evacuate the east coast of Florida when he thought it was going to the east coast of Florida. So he evacuated there from Wednesday and was here and then we were going to get the
Lucky
worst of
him,
it. So
yeah.
he was actually also at SNN with us, with everyone's families,
Yes.
everyone's dogs. Everyone was here. It was like being at camp
Cats.
all over again.
Cats, dogs,
Yes,
kids.
everyone was here.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, so we've asked everyone else memorable moments from this.
Yeah, so actually
storm.
right as those winds were starting to pick up, we were starting to see those tropical storm 45-mile-per-hour sustained winds. I actually went out with one of our photographers to Longboat Key, to the beach, to see what the beach looked like out there. And you know, we saw the Gulf waters receding for that
Oh my
potential storm
gosh.
surge.
Yeah.
And you know, we were doing Facebook Live and stuff like that out there. And you know, it's so important because Longboat Key was evacuated Friday as well.
Yeah,
So the people that have homes there, you know, they didn't know what it looked like out there.
Right.
So, you know, we need to make sure that nobody else goes out there.
So
and the
you
way
do
you
it
do
for
that
us.
is by showing them what it looks like. So
Oh.
it was definitely interesting being on the beach with the winds that high and the rain coming down, and even just driving through, you
Yeah,
know, as
yeah.
you start seeing the
The car
branches
was
falling.
moving, right?
And yeah,
Over-
you
going
know, the
over the
winds
bridge.
were picking up and, you know, you started to see branches falling from trees,
Oh,
you know.
gosh.
It was definitely an experience.
Well, thank you so much again. Everybody here at SNN did an amazing job, and we really appreciate all your hard work. And I hope you get some time off now.
We'll see about that.
Thanks. Coming up next on Suncoast FYI, we talk more about Hurricane Irma with SNN Operations Manager Alan Marszalek. So please stay with us. Our last guest this week is SNN Operations Manager Alan Marszalek.
Morning, Nancy.
Good morning, Alan. I first want to say all of you did such an amazing job during the coverage
Thank
of
you.
Irma.
It takes all of us.
It does. It took the whole team, and that's why we wanted to bring a couple of our people on today, so that our viewers could find out exactly what you did and what preparations did you make for Hurricane Irma here at SNN to keep us aware.
Well, some of the first things that we had to do, Nancy, was just consider the safety of the employees.
Absolutely.
Mr. Lombardo, our owner, has offered to let families stay with us and bring our pets. So we had to make sure that there was, proper accommodations. That we had enough food, water. We tried to do everything we could for that. Sleeping accommodations. Here in the Herald Tribune building, we have a number of offices that we were able to have people stay at.
Oh, wonderful.
Which was excellent, and a couple of floors in which people could sprawl out and be comfortable in. So we supplied cots for them. Of course, people had to bring their own blankets and kind of finish that. But those were some of the things, not to mention scheduling and preparing our people just to be here.
To be ready, yeah. So you mentioned the importance of the staff here. What indulge us a little further when you say the safety of the staff. That I don't mean just in here, but in general. What else precautions did you take for them?
Well, some of the things were we weren't going to put our staff in any kind of harm's way. Once the storm started really to kick in here, we made sure we pulled all our crews off the road and waited for the winds to subside, and then went into the damage parts and to see how people fared along the Suncoast in our viewing area. So safety was of the utmost importance and always on our mind, whether we were housed here in the Herald Tribune building or whether our news crews, who did a great job, were out in the field.
I was just going to ask you, how do you feel that your team did during the coverage?
I told them before this storm hit, this may be one of the most important stories, one of the most important things they're going to do in their careers, and how important it was and to understand that the sacrifices they were going to make were so important to the community.
Yes.
This is what the community relies upon us for, our viewers.
Yeah.
And they want to know what is happening, and they want to know it now for their safety. And this is what people got into the business of television to do, is to prepare them and to let them know that they are safe in their homes too.
Now, I know that at some point, myself included, I lost power, but you were streaming live on Facebook.
Yes.
When our power went down, so you were keeping in touch.
Yes, we with with social media becoming such an important part of today's society, compared to when I broke into the business, it didn't exist.
Yeah.
And that we needed all the avenues available to let everyone know what was going on. And Facebook became one of the biggest and important things for people while they had power on their phones. At the very least, they could look there, look on Facebook if they couldn't get us over the air or if their cable was knocked off.
Yeah. Now, I'm smiling because I asked you before. You said there were some memorable moments
of course.
During this storm, and would you like to share any?
Sure.
Is there? Can you?
Yeah, of course. We are being housed in the Herald Tribune building. It was built to Cat 3 to Cat 4 storm force winds.
Excellent.
So we knew that we were safe in this building. We didn't have any issues with that. So with that, we try to provide as much coverage, even at the height of the storm, by our chief engineer, Tony Fernandez, and I ran out, set up a camera out on the balcony we have at the front on Main Street of this building. And then I was out there running the camera a few times and then swapping, people back and forth and hearing the winds howl and watching the rain come across the tops of buildings and watching debris coming down the street.
Gosh.
You have a greater appreciation. This is not
surreal.
Oh, it is. In my career, I've been doing this a long time. I won't say how long.
Okay.
I'm just getting vain now as I'm getting older. And but this is my first true Category 2 storm. I went through a number of tropical storms before. So with that, I've never really had the taste of a hurricane myself, so it was an eye-opening experience for me too.
And we don't want to have any more.
No,
Thank you. No more. Alan, thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you all for all your hard work and hours that you put in.
Not a problem.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Suncoast FYI. We will return after a short break. Coming up this week on the Suncoast, this Saturday at 10 a.m. there will be a tram tour at Oscar Scheer State Park. Comedian Carl Rimmy will be performing at McCurdy's Comedy Theater through September 17th. On Saturday, Elysian Fields will be having a 26th annual anniversary sale. Florida Studio Theater will be hosting the Singing for Senior Dogs Limp Sick Battle at 7 p.m. on Saturday, September 16th. The tickets are $35. Please visit floridastudio.org for more information. If you would like to promote your community event on Suncoast FYI, we would love to hear from you. Just call us at 941-361-4639. To view previous episodes, go to snnTV.com under Programming. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next Friday on Suncoast FYI.